Okay, hello. Here with a sort of mini review thing today. A follow-up to my review of Goat's Head Soup, which I briefly referenced in that video if you haven't seen it. Which is this album. It's a live album, Brussels Affair from 1973. So this is a live album that has been released from their 1973 tour. It wasn't released at the time. It didn't get released until 2011, but it was very limited then. Then it got released properly last year as part of Goat's Head Soup 2020. But it's been available on bootleg for a very long time. And normally I don't really talk about live albums. The only live album I've ever reviewed actually is Get Your Yayas Out. But I want to do a quick review of this one because it is incredible. This is potentially the greatest concert the Stones have ever done, that has been recorded at least. This is the front cover, which is the tour poster. Very provocative. That's the back cover, which has all got handwritten things from whoever recorded it at the time, from their little mobile studio thing. Recorded 17th of October 1973 in Brussels. I think the place was the Forest National Arena, I want to say. The story behind this album was on the band's European tour, there was no dates in France because Keith, Anita and Bobby Keys, if they'd entered France, would have been arrested straight away. So they didn't go to France. Instead, the French, they put two shows on in Brussels for, obviously, fans who lived around Brussels area, but the French fans as well. So they had a chance to see the band. Anyway, there ain't all that much to say. We'll just get into the... It's not even going to be a track-by-track review, but I will go over each one. Maybe not individually for each one. But anyway, this tour was their first tour of Europe since, I want to say 1970, maybe 71. Yeah, 71. Can't remember. There were dates in the UK as well, here in the UK, which was their first live performances in the UK since they left in 71. It's also the first chance European fans had to see European fans had the chance to see songs from Exile on Main Street done live. And the set, for the most part, is identical to the previous tour, the 72 US tour, with the addition of 4 new tracks that have been added in from Goat's Head Soup. Other than that, the running order, more or less, is the same as the 72 tour. So the tour in this album opens with Brown Sugar. Classic Stones, great opening track. It's a great live performance, this. Keith is on fine form with his guitar, as is Mick. Yeah, it's a great version. Then we've got Gimme Shelter. This is interesting live because at this point it was obviously just the Stones, more or less. They didn't have any girls on stage with them, so Mick sings the rape murder bit. And it's great hearing Keith play the riff so brilliantly, but the vocals for this, I've always had a problem. Same with the 72 tour. I don't think it's a great version. It just goes to show how much Mary Clayton added to this song. Because without her or any other girl singing on this, it kind of loses its charm a bit. But yeah, it's still nice to have. Then comes Happy, which again, classic Keith. It's a great live song. This was when Keith was at the peak of his vocal performing. You know, the fags haven't taken an effect on his voice at this point. He's still quite high-pitched. You know, by the end of the 70s, that deeper voice that he's now more accustomed to had taken over. But at this point, the voice that he had on the record is still hanging in there. Tumbling Dice next from Exile on Main Street, lead single from that album. Again, great version. Great version. And then we have the 4 new tracks at the time, which are all from Goat's Head Soup. First one being Star Star. So this is a highlight of the album. This is a really great performance of Star Star. Or Starfucker as it's called on the back of here, and Mick calls it on stage. Yeah, it's great. Then Dancing with Mr. D, again, like I said in my Goat's Head Soup review, it is just pure pornography, this song, pure filth. Great version, great song. Then comes Heartbreaker. Of the 4 tracks from Goat's Head Soup performed here, I think this is the weakest. It's not a bad song by any means, but it's just lacking something, this performance, I always feel, that the record has. That I just feel it's better on record at this point than it was live. After that, we've got Angie. So the reason I wanted to review this album, to do this mini review, is purely for this version of Angie. In fact, I will try and show you actually. If you look here, Angie, I don't know if that's picking up, but it says Best Angie. This is not only the greatest live performance Mick has ever done of Angie, this is better than the record, this version. This is the ultimate version of Angie. If I want to listen to Angie, I tend to listen to this version over what's on the record. Mick's voice is just something else. It is, I don't know what he's doing, but the pain in his voice when he's singing it, it is something else. And yeah, what's quite nice about this album is, unlike Get Your Eyes Out and a lot of their live albums, they didn't really know they were being recorded. So to them, this is just a normal gig. It's not a gig that's being recorded. And that shows they're not trying to play to the cameras or do it right or do it, you know, make sure that do it like as good as they can. You know, they're not trying to act or perform. They're just doing what they do best, you know, because as far as they know, it's just a crowd watching them. It's just a regular gig, this. But it was recorded, and we get out of it the greatest version of Angie ever. Seriously, if you've never heard it, listen to it. It is, you know, there's no excuse now. It's on YouTube. It's all over streaming services. Angie, live from Brussels Affair. Listen to it. It is, I'm not making it up. It is the best version of Angie you will ever hear. Brilliant song. The emotion in Mick's voice. After that, Can't Always Get What You Want. Again, this version, in my opinion, is a lot better than the record because it hasn't got that bloody choir. Kind of like Angie. Again, there's a lot of emotion in Mick's voice on this version. It's a great version. It's about 11-12 minutes long, but if you can make it through it, it's worth it. And it must have been incredible to see it live like this at the time. Yeah, incredible version. Incredible, incredible, incredible. How many times can you use the word incredible? I don't know, but I'm going to keep using it. Midnight Rambler is after that. It's a song I've never cared for. Live, record, I don't like it at all. And it's no different here. After that, Honky Tonk Women. Again, classic Stones. Classic Stones tune. Great version. Proper rocker. It is what it is. We all know the song. It's no different here than anywhere else. It's brilliant. And then we have two tracks from Exile on Main Street, which is All Down the Line and Rip This Joint. Both played really fast, really aggressively, like they should be. Mick's vocals are on form, especially with Rip This Joint. Yeah, great versions. And then Jumpin' Jack Flash. It is what it is. It's classic Jumpin' Jack Flash, isn't it? Great tune, great vocal, great performance by the band. And then finally we have the closing track of the gig, Street Fighting Man. Yeah, great closing track. It's a little longer than the record because at the end they go a bit wacky and far out with the instrumental stuff. But, you know, a lot faster as well than the record. It's how the Stones rolled at this time. They played everything faster. So yeah, that's that gig. That is Brussels Affair. Arguably the Stones, one of the Stones' greatest ever live performances. If you've never heard it, give this album a listen. It's from the 73 tour, like I said. There's no video footage of it. Well, there is actually a little bit of video footage, but there's not like full gig video footage. This is all you can hear from that legendary tour. And, you know, it makes you wonder, well, actually, no, I think there are bootlegs of other gigs from the tour, and they're all very similar. So, you know, this was probably peak Stones live performance. I know the 72 tour, everybody, you know, oh, it's incredible. But the thing about the 72 tour was that one was recorded properly. The 73 tour was never really properly recorded, apart from this. And it's only been released officially last year, so... yeah, it's incredible. Listen to Brussels Affair and that incredible cover. Look at that artwork. You wouldn't get away with that now, would you? Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Ta-ta!